You're watching Phil Who set tile in our laundry room. And as you can see, it's the same tile system that we used in the bathroom. Now, generally speaking, tile's gotta be one of the best choices for a floor like this, but it's usually not the least expensive choice. When you're building a house, the sheer number of choices that are available and that have to be made can be overwhelming, and a good portion of the choices pivot around the budget. How much is it going to cost? Now, the most expensive options for this floor could have been, a really high-dollar floor tile, or maybe some sort of a natural stone installed sloping to a floor drain instead of level, like this, because the slope would have added costs and effort to the framing and to the plumbing, well beyond simply the increased cost of the material itself. Now, even though tile is expensive, in terms of the overall value on the job, it's often the best choice for several reasons. First, it's going to basically last forever, or at least until your wife decides that it's gone out of style. Second, it's easy to clean and maintain, and it's not going to be damaged by water or almost anything else that spills on it. Third, there are unlimited colors and sizes and styles that can really make the interior design of a house pop. Tile can be as subtle or as bold as you would like. And last, even though it's more expensive than some other options, it isn't wildly more expensive, and for most projects, it's the right product when you take everything into account.
We're due.
Learn some tricks that will really you can take me on.
Listen, Trevor. Tired of this. Yeah. You're all good.
This is going to be your favorite room in the whole house.
After every project that I do.
The first thing I'm going to do is take a freaking vacation.
We got it in us to do another one.
Putting stuff in your video of like.
Now, while we're talking about cost, for a shower, the most affordable system by far is simply a fiberglass shower kit. It's not even a close competition because they install very quickly and it's instantly a done deal. And honestly, they work great. In many ways, they're easier to clean than tile. They last a good long time and they can look pretty good. But tiling a shower is a much more custom look. It's a custom project, and not everybody might choose to spend their money that way. If you watched our previous episodes from our master bathroom shower, you're going to know why. Because whether you hire a pro like Phil or do it yourself, it's just a lot of work. This shower system is a lot like our master shower, just with a different tile and with a window to work around. These tiles are different because they're ceramic rather than porcelain, and they're on our job, courtesy once again of Florida Tile. Now, we recently had Phil on our podcast to chat about this project and about tile work in general, and he mentioned something interesting about the grout on this shower, which is not the same epoxy grout that was used in the master shower that you saw previously. Except you were telling me on ceramic tile because of the halo effect that can happen.
Yeah, so yeah, actually in your bathroom, that tub surround that you'll see a video on, we did use a sanded grout because you can get something called a haloing effect with a soft-bodied ceramic tile, where the resins from that tile or resins from that grout actually penetrate into the sides of the tile itself.
The edges.
Correct.
The not glossy edge.
Correct. The unglazed portion, the ceramic body. And it'll actually wick that resin in, and it'll discolor the in the body of the tile itself. So it looks like a halo all the way around that tile. And there's no way to get it out. It's done.
Yeah.
And so,
so
there's certain, obviously, limitations. A natural stone also, you have to be really careful if you're going to use an epoxy grout, because when you grout like slate with epoxy grout, it looks like you've put an enhancing sealer.
Oh, it gets a little glossy.
The resins, the oils from that grout get into the body of the tile, and it looks a little shiny. And so if that's not what the homeowner wanted, you're in trouble.
Problem.
That's so funny. I've always thought, and this is reminding me, over half of what you get from a professional is you get their skill and the muscle memory and the tools, but knowing these details about how materials interact and which one to use is so valuable.
It
and
is.
Man, like even a guy going to DIY a shower, here's like a bunch of mistakes that you just rattled off that could have nuked the shower. It's amazing. And it's just reminding me how valuable that is. Like, I guess that's part of experience, but it's just that accumulation of of things that can go wrong that you probably learned the hard way. But
exactly, that's exactly it. If you've learned these things, you've learned them because you enhanced a slate floor that wasn't supposed to be enhanced, and all of a sudden you're like, is this okay?
This kitchen backsplash is a much, much simpler wall tile installation than the showers were, because there's no waterproofing component to take into account. This tile can be attached directly to the drywall like Phil is doing here. In a kitchen, typically, you got to think about your layout, maybe even a little more carefully than in a shower, because people are closer to your work. In our kitchen, Phil has centered a grout joint behind the sink and also behind the range, which is a small detail, but it helps things feel more finished and deliberate for the people who are paying close attention. Phil was pretty pleased with this backsplash because, as you can see, there are no outlets for him to cut and fit his tile around. The outlets are tucked up under the cabinets out of sight, which was a design choice. Watch this. By scribing and gauging off of the existing work, in this case the window casement, Phil is going to make 3 very accurate cuts without getting out his tape measure even once. The doctrine of anti-tape will save you time and improve your accuracy. It's always a pleasure to work with Phil or his dad Dave on any of these projects. And on this project in particular, I really enjoyed picking Phil's brain about some of the details about his trade and growing up and into the family tile setting business. Stick around if you'd like to hear some more backstory on this topic, or check out our podcast on our second channel, EC2, where Phil dives deep into the weeds of this ancient craft that has set, in many ways, the cadence of his life. Thanks for watching Essential Craftsman, and keep up the good work.